What is up, everybody? Welcome to The Feast, episode 53, the show where you submit replays and we cast them. And joining me tonight, very special guest, we've got Andy Schatz, lead developer of Tooth and Tail. What's going on, man?
Special in air quotes. Yes, nothing, everything. Life is good. I'm so happy to be here.
All right, so tell me about a little bit of what's going on with Pocketwatch, man. We got a big patch coming up. You're working on a new game. Spill the beans, dude.
Right. Okay. So let's see. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on. I've been very busy, despite being a little bit quiet in the Discord. We have a big patch that has a ton of balance changes and some pretty major sort of core balance changes. That has been ready now for like a week and a half or something like that. We submitted it to Sony. They did find a pretty major bug in the crossplay stuff, so we had to fix the bug and then resubmit the patch. I just resubmitted it today. It's going to take a little bit for it to make it through Sony QA. My intention has been to release this patch all at once so that the PS4 players aren't coming into a sort of an established meta. My hope is that basically all patches from this point forward are going to be on across all platforms, and so I didn't want the first PS4 patch to be one where it came in late, where the PC players are already just absolutely crushing everyone. And so I was hoping to release it all at the same time. With
crossplay,
yeah.
I mean, wouldn't you have to patch at the same time? I don't really know how all that works.
I do. Well, I do to some extent. I could always end up splitting the player base if we needed to.
Right.
So if in an emergency, I could split the player base back out. But yeah, that basically everything needs to be done at the same time. And for most patches, the PS4 patches can actually be done really quickly. It only takes about an hour or so. Steam is a few seconds to release a patch, but PS4 is really not that bad if it's just balance changes. So yeah, that's coming out next week.
So the big thing I see there is the region change. Like I'm just kind of looking at it. I kind of agree with a lot of the changes here. The lizard HP, debuff. I'm sorry, I read that incorrectly for a second there. But so what's the deal with the change on regenerating extra health for certain units in your territory?
So the last few patches have largely been inspired and directed really by what I call the balance committee. So there's a group of people on the Discord that are in a private channel. And for the most part, they're very good players, but they're also players that have shown the ability to be collaborative rather than sort of self-interested in their play style and understand the philosophy of the game and are willing to help me try and achieve that philosophy, that game philosophy. And so there's a group of people in there that basically suggest changes, and to some extent they also represent views of people that are not on the balance committee and make proposals about changes. Right. The reptile one is straight out of that balance committee, and the intention behind it, and again this is honestly, they just wanted to try it out. I think the intention behind it is that some of the higher level players have been wanting faster regeneration, particularly for higher health units. And that's something I've really resisted for a long time. And I think this was a little bit of a middle ground where it gave a fun thematic way to introduce it for a few characters. And in particular, the chameleon is one that really suffers from the slow regen rate. And the reason why is that those top level players often say that it's not worth it to actually pull your cams out of a fight because it takes them so long to regen their health, that it's better to just let your cams get their damage in and then die.
Yeah.
And so it does, but adding a little bit more asymmetry between units, having snakes and lizards have that as well is another interesting thing. It also makes lizards better on defense than they were before. So it allowed us to pull their health back a little bit, so that they are basically, it pushes lizards a little further apart from in the way that you use them, by getting you to use them as little strike units, and then you can pull them back.
Yeah.
So
awesome.
so yeah, it's an interesting change. It's I think it's one of those things I tend to avoid designs that are really mathy, that where the player kind of has to feel it rather than just see it. And this is one of those where you kind of have to feel it, whether or not it's actually going to change things. But I think it'll be interesting. It'll certainly be interesting for high-level players.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. I mean, overall, I feel like the balanced state of the game is pretty decent right now, but just kind of thumbing through these changes, I like the small tweaks overall. I always feel like that's the best way to go about it than big drastic stuff. And I'm not gonna, I don't want to take too much time on this and kind of go through every single change, but if you guys are interested that are viewing, man, you can check out the unit discussion channel in the Discord. Go ahead.
I'll say that the big change, actually, that may not look like the big change, but if a structure takes damage while it's building, it will stop earning health for 1 second. Is a huge change.
Yeah.
Because if a single squirrel starts attacking an MG, they will prevent it from earning all of its health, because squirrels fire once per second.
Right. Huh.
So structures start with 15% of their health and earn the rest over their build time, which means that MG turrets at 25 health, and so with 15% of 25 health is something like, I don't know, 5 health or something along those. So they earn 20 health over 10 seconds. They earn a little more than that. I think they earn 2.5 HP per second. So a single squirrel, if it's attacking an MG, is actually doing along the lines of 3.5 damage per second instead of 1 damage per second.
Damn, that's insane. All right, I think the guys in the chat are getting hungry for some carnage, man. I do want to talk about Hike, but maybe let's do a few replays first, and then we'll talk about the new game coming up. Awesome, man. Do it. Are you ready for match number 1?
Dude, I am embarrassed to say that I didn't have Steam running.
How dare you? How dare you, Andy? Well, while he's getting that set up, man, I appreciate the raid, Miss Clicker, as usual, man. I thank you so much. Hey, thanks for the follow, Joe P. Walters, man. I appreciate it. If you guys are new to the show, we do this every Tuesday, Thursday night, about a 2-hour stream. Sometimes it's me by myself, but I try to get other people on as often as I can, and just check out replays, man, of all shapes and sizes. Great players, new players, whoever wants to submit, man.
Hold on, sorry, I had some stuff in development here. I'm failing you.
It's all good, man. No worries. And while he's getting that going too, I want to remind everybody, Tooth and Tail League Season 2 is about to begin. I actually got boosted up to Class S, Andy.
Dang!
Yeah, man.
Whoa, Delthius pulling into Class S. That's pretty impressive.
I felt dirty in my qualifiers because they were best of 1, so I basically just went Fast Fox every game, and it was pretty mean, but it got the job done. Hey, it's my best build, so, best of 1, you got to whip out the big guns, right?
You got to do it. You gotta do it.
And we also got the Tooth and Tail PvP campaign coming up May 26th and May 27th. That's going to be here on my channel. I'll be casting it and hosting it, as well as Jet Erickson and Gabany. That's going to be a really cool event, man. Have you seen a lot about that?
No, I mean, not a lot. You should tell people about it. And also, I have my replays ready whenever you are. Actually, hold on. Let me turn the music off on this thing.
Okay.
So I can hear you.
Yeah, so basically we've got guys who are designing custom maps. Master Wario, I believe, is the map generator, and then we've got Gabany, who's writing the story, and a couple other people are involved. Glorious AFB, the guy who's made like the majority of the skins, is doing a lot of the artwork. And day 1 is going to be like a best of 3 regular tournament, and then the top 4 players are going to each represent a faction. And then the second day is going to be kind of like a campaign, competitive, kind of story-driven thing. So I'm really looking forward to that, man.
That is super exciting. All right, I'm ready to go whenever you are.
All right, man. Let's hop into match number 1 here. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, spawning to the top, we've got Pony Slay Station.
Pony Slay Station.
and to the left, we've got Swifty. All right, Andy. What do you think of these deck compositions here?
All right, let's take a look. Well, we have the boar tier 3 on Swifty's side, and we have no tier 3 on Pony Slay Station's side. So I would expect a pressure campaign from Pony, especially with that balloon. They're going to try and squeeze with the balloons and the ferrets. Pony Slay Station. It's an interesting build because there's actually a little there's a period of time when Pony's going to be vulnerable. I find that like early tier 2s tend to be vulnerable, especially to high pressure, but Swifty doesn't really have much to do in early game pressure outside of those MGs. So it'll be interesting to see if I were Swifty in this instance, I would actually put on the early contain.
Right.
Of course, he doesn't know what Pony's deck looks like, so he's not going to have any way to intuit that.
Yeah. Now, Pony here, the balloons are really good at if you scout your opponent kind of going for a fast tier 3. We see Swifty doing that right here. I mean, he's a top-level player. He's not floating that food for no reason. And as I say that, of course, the caster curse kicks in, and he just throws down a bunch of tier 1 Warrens. But, you know, if Pony goes in and scouts Swifty trying to throw down an early boar, he can try to take one of these gristmills here, throw up a couple balloons. And, you know, balloons are a really great answer to tier 3 in general, I feel like.
Yeah, they're pretty good, and Swifty actually does the right thing here, claiming that middle ground, because it's a great place to be putting MGs up. And Pony's balloons, while they're going to get pretty decent coverage over that region in the north, they don't really have a choke to be able to control.
Yeah.
And that's really when balloons are best, when you can layer them on top of each other and control a choke.
Yeah.
So I would say Pony's in a little bit of trouble just from basic composition here. And look at that, Swifty does exactly what I thought Swifty should do in this circumstance, which is to go aggressive on those MGs.
Yeah, that's beautiful placement there. That high ground that Swifty has just taken over is absolutely critical for this map, and that totally takes away any kind of balloon contain that Pony could really do. As you were saying, you know, throwing some balloons over here, yeah, he's going to get one up, but ideally, if Pony was going to go for a contain, he would have wanted to take that gristmill Swifty took, right? So now that option's kind of out of it for him, and Swifty's getting the ferrets out. Actually, both players are, so maybe we're going to stabilize a little bit, you know, wait for the tier 2 to come up, get a farm or two on the second base, and kind of go from there.
So Pony's actually got an advantage here in that the balloon helps him see up the hill, so he can go ferret balloon in order to take out those MGs.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas Swifty has to build falcons in order to see up the opposing hill.
Right.
And in fact, those ferrets really not going to be able to address those Warrens because the balloon is in the way. And timing's on Pony's side. He's going to get those MGs.
Yeah, nice sell there by Swifty. And yeah, that's actually a really good point there. You know, that balloon granting all that vision is absolutely huge, and that's also going to zone out Swifty's ferrets. So Swifty's in some hot water here, man. He's got to figure out something quick. Let's see
some nice little dancing there by Pony, getting those ferrets out of the way, and it looks like he's going to try and move in and take ferrets, see if he can find an opening. And he does get one.
Yeah, I like that pullback, man. It is so easy to overextend in this game, you know, like you got to really take your time and make sure you've got enough before you really commit in there, because once you've committed, like it's hard to run away in most circumstances.
And those pigeons actually aren't going to do too much here. Gonna have to do something to be able to move in on this, because with all those forward Warrens, this ferret pressure is going to be actually really pretty hard to push back.
Yeah, for sure. And this is really problematic here for Swifty, because every one of those Warrens that goes down, I mean, that's absolutely huge. You know, having to rebuild those is totally enormous, and putting that tier 2, that Falcon Warren right there is pretty risky, man. You might get punished for that.
Yes, it is. Yeah, he's gonna have to fight for his life here to keep that from going down. And that's what he does. He's you know, maybe committing a little harder than he would in other circumstances, just to push him back from those falcons, because he's hoping if he can get the falcons out, then there's no point in trying to bring those solo ferrets up front.
Yeah, those ferrets will do, the falcons rather, will do a good job of zoning the ferrets back. But again, that balloon, man, that balloon gives them so much breathing room here. You know, you often see with ferret harassment like this, you know, players using turrets to kind of have that line to run back to, and the balloon is working very, very well. Instead, you know, especially because the opponent's ferrets can't hurt that balloon, right? But four ferrets here for Swifty.
But he does get that falcon out, so I'm curious why he hasn't pulled the falcon to the front. Maybe he's waiting for a second one because he wants to, he wants to have enough in order to take out a ferret, get some value out of it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why he's just bothering with this dance because he doesn't have anything building in the background.
Yeah. He might be afraid to take
it seems like it was
shots.
A slight timing mistake there that he didn't pull his falcons to the front a little bit sooner to stop this dance. Because look at that. Did he just lose? No, he didn't lose anything. Okay.
He's going to commit. And I don't know if this is the best move to be making here. I think Pony's going to be all right with this defense. He's got several ferrets now and falcons of his own. He's going to push Swifty back. And another thing here, too, is look how hard Swifty went on that second base economy. That's
what
a lot of money there that he invested. That's probably
a disastrous commit.
Yeah, that might be too much damage. Swifty.
I'm surprised that this game is continuing. If Swifty can pull back from that, I will be amazed.
Yeah, that was pretty critical damage there. On Swifty's, the bright side for him at least was he didn't lose those ferrets, but he actually sold off his ferrets, and now he's floating a lot of money. I think he's just kind of trying to figure out what Pony had. I mean, he doesn't have anything like moles, to invest in with all that money he's got and try to do something. So Pony should be coming in here.
He can't.
That's got to be it from here, yeah.
He can't save this, can he? He can't do it. No way. All right.
Great play from Pony's PlayStation there. Takes a match against a heavy hitter like Swifty, man.
Wow.
Okay, let me know how the
all that ferret dancing.
Yeah, that's always really cool to see. Let me know how the levels are, guys. I did a little bit of sound check before the show, but that always lies, man. I don't know why, but it does. But we haven't had anybody complaining yet, so to me, that's a good sign. Good. All right, man, are you ready to hop into game number 2 here?
Sure, whenever you are.
Let's do it. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, spawning on the right, we've got the gentleman.
And in the north, we've got Philothantic.
Oh, we got some moles here, Andy.
I want to see it. I want to see it, Philo.
Are we going to see some shenanigans? Now, he did build a 5th farm, so no 4-farm moles, but you don't really see that as often lately. Like, in the early game, moles are kind of used to keep your opponent honest. You don't see guys super hard committing with moles like we did around launch. Instead, it's like, I'm going to build a mole or 2 and kind of force you to do something else besides go straight up to 8-farm Warren, or 8-farm, 2 tier 1 Warren. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, for the most part, you want to queue that first farm first thing anyways, because if it takes you a long time to scout the, where your opponent's base is, you do want to make sure that you didn't delay a farm needlessly, because generally you want to, if you're going to mole rush, you got to do it with 2 moles. So
yeah,
the typical would be to queue the farm, scout their base, burrow back, sell the farm, and go and build at least 2 moles. But he's gone 8 farms, so we're not seeing the rush at least.
I'm excited to see Squirrel Toad versus Squirrel Lizard, man. The gentleman's one of the better lizard players in the game right now. I think is a pretty safe statement to make. So he's actually opening up with some lizards here. So all Philo's got to do is kind of keep his eye on what tier 1's coming out there. Throw down some toads, you should be okay. But the gentleman took the squirrels as well, which is huge. If you just take lizards, then you can be in this point where, oh, well, they've got Squirrel Toad, I've only got lizards, and that's pretty rough.
Philo's got a tiny econ advantage because he built the Warren late, and he's just gonna stick around. I think up here on the high ground. Philo's got no defenses, so he's gonna have to end the game at 2 at 2 mills here, especially because he doesn't have lizards either, so he's not going to be able to have any sort of map control. He has to end it after that first expansion.
Yeah, it's either that or he's just got to be really, really aggressive. I mean, he's got the Fox, which can kind of keep Gentleman pinned down, but I really hope we get to see some Fox versus Fox here, man. That's always some really cool micro. Just whoever gets that shot off gets him at 1 HP. All you need is a lizard or a squirrel. And lizards, man, do phenomenal against things like foxes and badgers, I feel like.
Yep, they do. And actually, I'm surprised to see Fox in a game with no defenses. Usually, you want to pair Fox with something that you can hide behind.
Yeah, I agree 100%, man. Like, turret, Fox, ferret, I feel like synergizes so well. But
here we go on the mole push, and it'll be interesting to see if those toads, if he gets the toads off. Well, because the with all those lizards, he's got to be scared. He's got to be scared.
Ooh, not the best engagements there.
Though.
That's good for the gentleman, but the moles up front tanking. We're in a fantastic position there for Philothanic, and this is a pretty successful attack. Now, the question is if he overcommits, but really, can he overcommit at this point? I mean, gentleman's really got nothing left.
That's Hero Skunk. Hero Skunk. Now, they're actually even economically because of that campfire that gentleman picked up.
Yeah.
But it's hard to imagine coming back from that.
Yeah, trying to keep that skunk alive, but good target firing here from Philothanic. I feel like he's barely... No, actually, the skunk still remains, so Gentleman might be able to hold, but I'm not so sure if he's going to stabilize. Like, he has just taken so much damage this game.
And virtually no value out of those moles, because moles spent all their time trying to track down those skunks instead of just taking down whatever was in front of them.
Yeah.
He does lose a skunk.
Those moles did zone the skunks. The moles did zone the skunks back a little bit, which I guess kind of helps. But yeah, they weren't attacking for a long time. They were just kind of running and trying to keep those skunks as far away as possible. But man, I wouldn't count the gentleman out, you know. And look at this. I think that's totally the right move to make. Just, you know, all-inning with some lizards. He's going to wait until Philothanic moves out on the map and try to run around and base trade.
Yep, and with those two bases being close to one another, and this first one gonna have really no defenses sitting at it. The moment he moves his army out, Gentleman could wrap around and actually end this game. Although Philo should be able to take out. Well, he won't have. He doesn't know about that campfire.
Yeah.
So he might take out the main base.
Oh yeah.
He doesn't know about the campfire, and Gentleman needs to go now. He just needs to go for the trade, because Philo has no idea. This could be it. This could be a win. Philo's got to scout it. Nope, he's going for the Warrens.
He's got to know something's up, man. Like, I bet he was pretty surprised when he didn't just win the game straight up there. But if Philo, you know, making that gristmill, he might actually get that second one up in time. Let's see it. It's going to be really, really close. Ooh, that toad actually detonated on some lizards.
It's not enough, though. It's not enough.
Oh, man.
Wow.
That's the gentleman we know and love. All right, man. Let's do games number 3 and 4, and then I want to hear about Hike.
All right.
All right, man.
Let's go.
Let's hop into it. Match number 3. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, spawning on the left, we've got Blue Cat.
And on the right, we've got Mr. Minion Man.
All right, Boar versus Fox here.
Boar versus Fox.
Let's see it.
Yeah, that boar is so tanky that sometimes it takes too many shots for the fox to be able to take it down.
Yeah.
It's just like, you know, poking a dragon with a stick.
Yeah, the boar, man, when he gets out, is just going to go for such a hard engage that it's going to be rough for the fox. And the fox really needs to get a lot of damage done before that big committal with the boar gets to the base, I feel like. But I'm not so sure we're even going to see Tier 3 here, Andy, because look at these rush distances, man. And Blue Cat and Minion Man are both going for a 5-farm more in here.
I wouldn't be surprised, though, if they can repel each other. Minion Man's expansions are a long ways away, but they are even longer from Blue Cat. Blue Cat, it would take a million years for Blue Cat to get to Minion Man's natural.
Right.
And then he's got another one on top of that up in that upper corner. So the expansions are a long ways away from Mr. Minion, but they're actually in pretty decent position, I think.
Yeah, especially considering he's got that ramp in that northeast of the main, you know? Like, he can actually get there. If he didn't have that ramp and had to go all the way around that terrain, that'd be super brutal. And I love that barbed wire, by the way, man. Just a couple pieces repels that attack, you know?
That's right. And Blue Cat does not have lizards, so anything up in that northeastern corner, in the eastern corner, is going to be basically out of range of Blue Cat.
Yeah, I mean, if you tried to maybe go attack that 3 o'clock base, you know, in the late game, I mean, the counterattack capability for Minion Man would be absolutely huge.
Right.
Nice little campfire pickup, though. You can never count that out. That's absolutely huge in the early game.
I love doing that. Just grab campfires. Sometimes they can even be close to the enemy base because campfire really only needs, 80 seconds in order to pay for itself.
Yeah.
Because it costs 60, so it's going to re-earn its food in 60 seconds and 20 seconds to build. After 80 seconds, it's profit. So if you can keep you don't have to keep a campfire alive until you've totally exhausted it in order for it to be worth it. You really just need to keep it alive for, say, 2 minutes for it to be worth it.
A little bit of a botched attack there from Blue Cat, trying to move in onto that high ground. Minion Man pushes him back. Not really too big of a deal. I think Blue Cat lost a few more squirrels there than Minion Man did, but the big story here is the skunks coming out for Minion Man, and Blue Cat just really doesn't have an answer for that at this moment. I mean, skunks just absolutely love walking into a whole bunch of squirrels.
You know, and Verdian Games in the chat says, "Hey Eddie, just great game. You're welcome. I'm glad you enjoy the game. I love it. I genuinely, Tooth and Tail is genuinely, it's in my top 5 games of all time in terms of playing. So I appreciate that some other people really enjoy the game too."
Here we go, Minion Man moving in for the big attack, and nice toad. Oh my god, dude, those toad engagements were huge for Blue Cat. Wow, dude.
That was amazing. And Blue Cat did a really nice little thing. In order to pull, the most efficient way to pull those squirrels out of the skunk gas was actually to pull them forward first and then around, which probably saved a squirrel or two.
Man, I cannot believe Blue Cat got those engagements with that toad, man. I thought for sure that push out for Minion Man was going to be too much. But now the chameleons are coming out, and chameleons can deal with those skunks pretty well if they're in the right position with some good target firing. But the big story here is Blue Cat's got that second base up. Okay, now Minion Man's getting his own. We're almost at the 4-minute mark here. So once that 5-minute mark hits, it's going to be pretty brutal.
Blue Cat has sort of committed on a little bit more of a standard build rather than that Fox build. He is starting to get some defenses in, and the speed of the Fox will give him map control, which I'd really like to see, because the Fox could come over and take out a couple of farms over here at the eastern base, and then, whip right back around to contribute to some sort of all-in battle in the west.
Yeah.
So I'd really like to see it. The chameleons are good tanks. I wouldn't commit to them too hard, because it looks like we're moving into a situation where the map, where we're dealing with like a very large map, and needing a lot of map control, and that's just not something chameleon's really all that good at. He is moving them out though.
Yeah.
So he's going to try and sneak attack over at this expansion.
The Fox.
Let's see if 2 chameleons can get anything done. I'm not sure it can.
The Fox Warren gets placed down, and this phase of the game is pretty interesting, because you really got to keep tabs on how many farms your opponent's taking, man. You kind of, my rule of thumb is you always want to be like 1 or 2 farms ahead. You don't want to rush straight up to 8 farms against 2 or 3, because then their army is just going to be so much bigger than yours. Chameleon's coming over here.
This was really interesting. He noticed that he's only got 2 units that can, or he's actually only got 1 unit type that could kill that campfire, the squirrels. And so he had to pull his, basically his whole core army over in order to take out that campfire, which was pretty risky. He didn't really get punished for it. But I'm surprised. Blue Cat really probably ought to have committed when that whole squirrel army was over there.
Yeah, and look at the position of Minion Man's army at this point. Like, his main base, I feel like, is pretty exposed. Like, if Blue Cat, started coming down here towards this territory, it'd be really difficult for Minion Man to get his units in the right spot, Well, I guess he does have that little bit of a ramp opening in the rocks, but let's see. Minion Man's going to come in for some aggression. Those turrets are getting so much work done on the high ground, though.
Yeah, those are some sneaky turrets. I'm not sure he knew it was there.
Ooh, that water is super brutal to try to trudge through here.
Oh, and that skunk gas is just killing him.
Man,
I think he's got those pigeons.
That skunk on the high ground, like, that is so brutal here for Blue Cat.
Yeah, and part of the problem is that it took the chameleons forever to get engaged. The chameleons really couldn't get engaged across the water because he didn't want to do a full commit.
The Fox is out. Let's see if the Fox is going to be enough to keep Blue Cat into the game. And actually, Minion Man taps out after losing the army. I think he tapped out because he lost most of his army there, and then he saw the Fox and was like, okay, sure. I have no answer for this, so he tapped out. And crazy game, man.
Yeah. All right, what do we got? 5?
We're
Cat
on,
versus Kerpa, huh?
we're on 4. How dare you, man? You're gonna skip Master
Ah!
Wario like that?
My bad.
All right, man. Let's hop into match number 4 here. Are you ready, Andy?
Got it.
Let's do it. 3, 2,
Let's do it.
1, go. All right, spawning in the top, we've got Duchu.
And in the south, we've got Mr. Wario.
All right, we got double boar here. Dude, turret balloon is a nasty combo. Like, it's difficult to put that, fit that into a deck, but if you can, man, like, that can be so brutal to deal with, because I feel like they just synergize so well together.
They really do. And in fact, one of the things I've been thinking about doing in the long run, testing out, is making it so that turrets, in particular artillery, MGs, and balloons, can't be built directly next to one another. Because they do synergize so well right now that a pocket of those can become unbeatable in certain circumstances.
There's a reason I'm not in that balance change thing, because I was about to suggest to you, let the turret build directly underneath the balloon on the same tile. That would be amazing.
Yeah, and there's no ferrets on the other side, so it looks like really Snake is the way to take out that combo. Yeah. Because Snake's really pretty decent against both of those unit types, balloon and MG.
Yeah, Snake has kind of had a resurgence in the meta for a little while here, and I kind of like it, man. It's a nice answer to tier 3 units. It actually, if you don't want to run a ferret, they still deal very nicely with turrets and balloons and things like that. They got enough HP, the poison stacks do enough damage, and they're pretty cool, man. I like seeing a lot of Snakes in today's play.
And speaking of which, we go straight to Snake. Master Wario going straight to the Snake.
Oh, man. Okay, so Mishi used to do something similar to this, like, in October, except for he'd be way more brutal about it. He'd go, like, 5 farm or 6 farm into Snake Pigeon, and then use, like, 1 snake and 1 pigeon at your base when you're just totally not ready for it, and just start poking, right? And one-shotting tier 1 and healing up with the snake, like, super, super aggressive style. And I don't think Master Wario is going for that, but he's definitely going for a big push out, once he's got those 2 snakes done, I'd imagine.
Well, if there ever was a map to do it on, it's this one. Bases are spawning about as far away as they possibly can. Master Wario is on a high ground, and sure, there's a mill right in front of him that could be used for a contain, but it would be a very weak contain because it'd be fighting up 2 levels of hill.
Yeah.
So if there ever was a map to rush tier 2, this is the one.
Yeah, this would have actually been pretty good for rushing tier 3 as well, since they're both kind of in a corner pocket and the map is so large, but the players are not opting to go for that. That can be pretty dangerous, man. If your opponent's got moles, like Squirrel Mole Push can deal with that, getting contained can deal with that. Like, there's a lot of answers to a tier 3 rush for sure, but, Duchu planting that single balloon, and now, if Master Wario doesn't respond soon, I feel like Duchu's really going to take this game by the reins here, with the superior economy.
That's right, and also it should be noted that until that moment, Master Wario didn't know that Duchu also had snakes, and so he put down that boar, thinking that he was going to be fighting against a large tier 1 army, given that he kind of skipped that tier 1, I think assuming a larger tier 1 army. But going against balloons and snakes, those are pretty much the 2 nemesis of the boar. So now he's gonna just try and turtle up here in this corner, take the second base, and pray to God. I don't know.
Yeah, unfortunately for Duchu, man, he barely has not scouted this tier 3. Like, his last attempt to get in there, he died like 1 tile away from the vision to see that tier 3, man, and that's a big part of this puzzle. I mean, luckily for Duchu, he's got balloons, he's got snakes, so he's kind of already set up to deal with the boar a little bit, but knowledge is half the battle in any RTS game, man. You gotta know that tier 3's coming.
Yeah, he's not really, look at that. He's still going heavy tier 1 and actually value. I'm a little surprised that Duchu hasn't put more into farms, because he got such a huge economic lead at the start that there was no reason he couldn't just get more farms.
Yeah. He wants to be careful to not overcommit to the farms, I feel like. He's actually been doing really great with his scouting here, and he hasn't seen a second base for Master Wario yet, so he's got to be sniffing out an all-in or some kind of heavy aggression. So if he commits too hard on the farms, he might not have enough to hold it. But here we go, man. Master Wario is moving out.
Yeah, he needed to put in some drop some more snakes. He did just drop that balloon, but I don't think.
Here we go, the big balloon, big boar coming in. Nice bomb, but so many lizards here in that balloon. And actually, Duchu's got enough to hold this. Maybe, actually, as I say that though.
Maybe.
Ooh.
I don't know. He gets no value out of that balloon. I'm surprised that was a.
Man, who do you think won that?
I mean, well, you gotta say Duchu won it just because he's got more economic potential here.
Right.
Any trade in the circumstance where he's got a second base up and running is in his favor. But I am really surprised at how strong Master Wario was able to push through on it.
Yeah, that was actually really close, and I feel like what really helped Duchu there at the end was knocking out those Falcons. If Master Wario somehow could have got those Falcons home, that would have helped him out a lot. But Master Wario did have that campfire for a while, helping him out on this one base economy. Nice little pickup from the lizards, knocked that out. But we're almost at the 6-minute mark, and Master Wario finally says, okay, I guess I'll take an expansion.
And Duchu, again, has not really invested in growing that economy as he probably had the opportunity to. But part of that was also that the never scouting that boar meant that he invested probably more heavily into the lizards.
Yeah.
Which led to a worse than ideal engagement in that battle.
For sure. All right. Where are we gonna go from here, Andy? What's the move? All right, if you're Master Wario, what do you do from this spot?
Honestly, I put a balloon on that tiny little corner up there in the front where his territory just reaches out. I sell a couple of squirrel warrens and I go all farms.
Yeah.
Now, because Duchu's just being real timid about aggression, and if Master Wario is actually going to have an economic lead, this is incredible. I don't know what Duchu's been doing. Duchu's been twiddling his thumbs over there, as he should be winning right now. But if you're not going to invest in your economy and you're not and you have an army lead, you either better attack or sell off some of that army and invest in your economy, because he had to be sure that Master Wario wasn't going to come back for another one. Yeah. After that.
I agree, man. I think Duchu was a little bit shy about macroing up on that second base, and if he kind of would have committed a little bit there earlier, he'd be in a phenomenal spot. But now Master Wario is kind of caught up, and we're stabilizing in this game a little bit. If you kind of look at the supply count for both players here, I mean, it's relatively even. I'm interested.
Now, Master Wario has no other options, of course. Those northern bases are not accessible. So he does have to. This has to be it. He's going to have to end the game here in some manner, one way or another.
Oh, you're right. I actually just noticed that. Like, if you look on the mini map, there's no way for him to get to that 3 o'clock base. So.
That's right. Or the 2 o'clock base either. He's completely shut out of that stuff. Which is why Duchu really should be macroing up. You know, he should put out some more turrets. He should grab one of those bases. He should grab the 2 o'clock base and just for future economic gain, and just hold out. Probably investing in snakes. He needs to put everything in snakes and balloons, and just hold out and starve out his opponent.
Yeah, it's really, the onus here is really on Master Wario to get something done. So yeah, exactly. If Duchu kind of spread his tentacles out on this map a bit further, set up a nice defensive line. I mean, he's got 5 potential gristmills there, and Master Wario's really only got the second base. Now, the blessing here for Master Wario, at least, is that since that second base was so late, it's not going to mine out anytime soon. So he's got enough money to finance one last big hoorah and try to get something done here.
That's right. So the question is, what does he do for that one last big hoorah? And really, that just comes down to competition. Duchu doesn't put more into snakes and balloons. You know, with current compositions, boar is still useful. Yep. But it would only, there goes one balloon. If he puts maybe one more snake down, the boar becomes useless. And at that point, you probably invest in, exactly what he's doing, which is Falcon Squirrel.
All right, I think
he
Master
could go
Wario
for some funky contain though. He could go, look at that. If he sneaks over and grabs a mill over there, he could go up for a funky contain coming from the east side.
Yeah, especially if Duchu doesn't notice this and Master Wario can actually get up a couple balloons here, keep his army in the right position, he might actually be able to take these 2 and 3 o'clock bases and put him in the lead in the long run here. But Duchu sniffs this out, man. He's got the boar, but I don't know. This is going to be rough.
He's letting the boar lead. But now he's going to back out because he's scared of those falcons. He doesn't want to expose the boar. Don't lose a falcon. Don't lose those falcons.
Yeah, Falcon's got to stay alive here. I just feel like Duchu's army composition is so good. You know, those lizards got melted down pretty quickly, and surprisingly, Master Wario, I'm not so sure what happened there. Do you think Duchu should have, been a little more all in with that boar and let it blow up? But I mean, at least he keeps it alive.
Yeah, I don't know. This is a good question. Master Wario is actually in a decent position here, although he's exposed on the southern flank. So you could take lizards down and take out all that production and whip right back around before you get attacked. But really needs to put up some defenses to make Master Wario scared before he can afford to do that.
I'm surprised how quickly all those lizards died from Duchu, man. I was looking at this, I was like, okay, boar lizard versus squirrels, like that should be a no-brainer.
I would dump most of the lizards, put it into squirrels, and then I would take a small lizard force back around to the southern side and try and take out some production right now.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Like maybe 6 or 9 lizards,
Exactly. He's trying to bait an engagement here, but it's an engagement with a lot of falcons, and that most of his value's in that boar, and the boar just can't do anything.
Ooh, he's been keeping this boar alive, but this one falcon that's reinforcing from the side is gonna take it down. That boar bomb really wasn't ideal there for Duchu, and now Master Wario is just in a phenomenal position this game.
He's gonna lose maybe 3 Warrens a year.
I like the decision to sell off the boar from Duchu. Wario did the same thing earlier on when he lost his as well, but I mean, Duchu, you gotta sell everything at this point. Maybe try to build some lizards. I'm not so sure, man. This might be too much damage.
He's got to commit now. He's got the army to commit.
Nice target firing there for Master Wario, taking out those snakes ASAP, and I don't know, man.
Wario's got this match.
Dude, Wario's a fantastic player, man.
Amazing. With that risky mill build over there to the both saying, there's no way you do that.
Right. I think it really came down to that fight when Duchu engaged with the boar lizard versus the squirrel falcon, man. Like, I have no idea why that didn't go better for Duchu, but nice hold there for Wario and really establishing that out of position base, man. He kind of took it from there. Wow.
Microphone says, just finished a super close best of 3 with, I believe, the 5th. Some of the best games I've played in TnT. I threw 2 of the replays to you, Delthius, on the off chance you need more replays.
Sweet. Yeah, I'm all filled up for tonight, man, but definitely shoot me more replays at ToothAndTailTV at gmail.com for Tuesday nights, Joe. I'll try to get in as many as we can, because you're going to patch me out on Wednesday, man, and make me have to throw away all my archive here. But all right, man, I know you got to get going here shortly, and I want to hear about your new game you're coming out with, Hike.
Well, tell you what, why don't I tell you about it? Do you mind if we watch a replay and we'll go light on the casting during the replay?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, sure.
What do you say? We don't have to do that. This is your show. I'll do whatever you want. I'm sorry.
No, I'm down, man. Let's hop into match number 5 and we'll kind of talk about Hayek and go over the game at the same time.
All right, sounds good.
Let's do it, man. 3, 2, 1, go.
So yeah, I'm working on a prototype. It's still not in a situation where I can say it's greenlit, but I put a lot of hours into it at this point. So I sure hope I get to move forward with it. It's really it's still very much in the vein of what Pocketwatch has done in the past. Complex mechanical games, but with simple controls. But this time it's a new genre because I like to take on new genres. I don't like doing the same thing over and over again.
So it's like a roguelike survival type thing?
It's really what it is actually more than anything, it's an RPG. It's a co-op RPG. But what I'm attempting to do is figure out how to make a co-op RPG that is not about combat, that is really about exploration of an environment. Because I was reading about what was the inspiration behind the Zelda franchise,
right?
And it's really from Miyamoto like going out and exploring. Look at this. Look at this.
Dude, this mole aggression is insane. But yeah, I've read that article as well. Like when he was a kid, he'd go out and explore like caves and forests and stuff in Japan and in the rural areas and stuff like that.
Right, exactly. And I had very, very similar experiences as well as a kid. Backpacking with my dad in the wilderness, just off-trail backpacking with my dad, and that really played into. Wow, look at this! Can you believe this? I wish we'd commentated this game.
Yeah, it's such a scrappy game, man. Of course, we picked something that's super action-packed to kind of talk about something else,
I know. Right? He's gonna. Oh, that's gonna be it. That's gonna be it. The moles.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Okay, we got a 2v2 coming up next, so that should be a nice game to put in the background while we talk a little bit about Hike.
All right,
are you ready, man? Game number 6?
Yep.
Dude, I just got to shout out Premium Bo, by the way. He's been a mod of this channel forever. This is his 46th submission to the show. Isn't that crazy?
Amazing.
Yeah, all right, let's get into game number 6 here. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so it's like a co-op RPG, you said, that's not really about combat and more about exploration and stuff?
Yeah, so there's some little things that like when I was a kid, I'd go backpacking with my dad, and we would, this is before Google Maps and all that, so you'd go to like Adventure 16 and you buy some topographic maps off the USGS or whatever. Right. And hike into the Sierra Nevadas for a couple of days, set up a base camp, and then just go off trail. Like pick a place on the topographic map to go. Be like, I want to go to that lake that doesn't have a trail to it, and you'd figure out how to get there. And that was really played into. I also played RPGs as a kid with my dad a lot, like the Ultima games on Commodore 64, and like my dad would control it, and I was the kid with the graph paper mapping the dungeons next to him. So there's one of the things I like to do when I'm designing a game is try and find something where there's the sort of general expectation for a genre might have actually gone against the tastes of some players. Like the general populace might like mini-maps, but mini-maps also make games worse for a certain type of player. Right. Like if you turn off, like in Zelda, you can actually turn off the HUD for, I don't know what they call it, expert mode or something like that. And it forces you to be super aware of your surroundings. And it actually improves the game experience for some people. Kind of like the original Metroid on NES, man. That was one of those games where you'd have to take out the pen and paper, and kind of try to keep track of where you've been and where you still need to go and stuff. Right. So for some people that might be a chore. For other people, it might improve the game experience. And we've got a fast fox coming in here behind an artillery. Those artilleries by themselves are really not all that good, but it is led by a whole bunch of mines that they're currently hitting right now. I do want to say Premium Bo and James both went Fast Fox and Fast Wolf here. No tier 1. Look at their decks, man. They're running the same crazy deck, but just with a different tier 3. Is this actually going to work? Like, there's no way, man. I don't know. I don't think you're going to sneak this by, I don't know if you're going to sneak this by Fart Gambler here. This is hilarious. Oh, God.
This is the kind of stuff I love to see, man. All right.
Wow. So hike. The goal is to really make it about exploring an environment and why it's really a game in many ways for people that do like to hike, but like, hey, it's a Wednesday night and you're sitting at home because you just got home from work and obviously you didn't go for a hike that day. Right. So you can go for a hike with your friends, but with obviously making it more exciting than that. But really a lot of stuff in there is like inspired by that. So I'm trying to make it so that it's actually interesting to walk across that log that straddles the stream. And make it so that like finding a water source is actually interesting and fun, and make navigation itself actually an interesting task. Because when you're hiking, like it's not just about looking around you and seeing things. It's the physical activity of hiking for people who hike is actually a fun thing to do. So even like giving each other piggyback rides is something that I'm hoping is a core part of the game.
I haven't got to backpack as much as you have, man, but I did do a few days on the Appalachian Trail, just straight up backpacking with a few of my buddies. Dude, it was some of the most fun I've ever had in my life, man. It was such a good experience.
Yeah, right. And a big part of that is social, but there's a reason that you're hiking and not just sitting on the couch, right? It makes it a different experience. So, whatever. Whoa, we got the wolf fox coming out.
Dude, I love it. The wolf is just hanging out at base, just waiting to bump that fox and keep the eco going. Look at this, man.
He's pulling him into the landmines. That's beautiful.
Dude.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Sign my mouse pad, dude. That is amazing.
Wow.
So have you ever played Stardew Valley by chance?
I have played, yeah, my daughter and I play some Stardew Valley on the Switch. Interesting you bring it up. Why do you bring up Stardew Valley?
Well, it just kind of reminds me of like that same kind of concept where I've tried to tell people about Stardew Valley and I'm like, dude, it's such a fun game. And they're like, well, what do you do? I'm like, well, you kind of build a farm and interact with people and stuff. And everyone's like, that sounds super boring. And I'm like, no, it's amazing. It's something like Hike. I feel like it is around that same kind of avenue, you know what I mean? Where it's like it's a game about hiking, but if it's done really well and the mechanics are great, it could totally be a really fun experience.
Whoa, look at they just wasted all of those. That owl just wrecked all of those in production. It was a big investment.
Yeah, that was like what, 6 or 7 turrets there?
More, I think. It was like 10. Oh, what a waste. But double buffed fox. Double buffed fox.
There was a third fox out, but Red and Blue actually did manage to take it down. So a little victory for them there. But, they're actually starting to get something done here. Like those balloons coming out, those are going to be a hard counter to the fox. Keep the fox back. Give them some breathing room here.
Yeah, and so, I was actually just looking at... I'm really trying to get the feel of the game right with just very simple controls because I don't want more than 2 buttons to control your player, and I'm even trying to make it so worry about controlling the camera. I'm not sure if I'll succeed at that.
So it's a 3D...
But I was just looking at Mirror's Edge controls.
Right. Oh, that's the game about parkour, right?
It is, yeah, because if the whole game is about navigation, then you better be sure it's actually fun.
Yeah, that's true. That's actually a really good point. Like, the mechanics have to be super, super solid if that's the highlight of the game. So I saw you on stream a little bit earlier. So it's going to be like a 3D model style game, right?
Yeah, it'll be in 3D. We're using voxels, but the current sort of cheap version of the voxels is not what we'll be going for. The short-term plan, it's the long-term plan, but we should be implementing is to have voxels with slopes. So allow for 45-degree slopes basically on any voxel. So it'll be still somewhat geometric. I love this.
I can't believe that actually worked. They're like, we don't have an answer for your balloons, so we're just gonna build like 8 turrets right underneath them. Oh my god, that was amazing.
Beautiful pop on that owl.
Dude, this game is beautiful.
So I actually hope it is exciting in ways. And it's a roguelike of sorts, but the individual levels will be like basically, yes, they'll be generated, but they'll generated using a different set of characteristics than what a game like Minecraft uses. Currently, it does use a lot of like Minecraft style tech, but I want it to feel really authored even when it's not. Wow. Dude. Oh, that artillery is gonna get up, and then it's.
That's in range, right? That's in range to shell down those turrets?
Yup.
Oh man, I think it sounds like an awesome. I think it's really innovative more than anything else. Like, has anybody made a similar game? Like, have you researched any other kind of similar titles that have been developed or in that avenue?
I mean, wow, look at that. Oh man. Whoa.
Oh, that is beautiful, dude. That's some Tooth and Tail artwork there.
And there go the foxes. There they go.
Dude, he's up to 5 foxes now with a 6th on the way, just getting buffed up by the wolves. What a game, man.
He loses. Oh, he just lost almost all his foxes, though.
Dude, he's premium bow, man. He'll find a way. Or that was James Bowring controlling the foxes. Damn, man.
Wow.
Dude.
Wow.
And that is why that was the 46th premium bow match. Because it's always crazy nonsense like that, man. It's so cool to see.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I got time for one more, and then I gotta hit.
All right, let's do it, man. Match number 8. Are you ready?
7. Aren't we on 7?
Oh, yeah, you're right. That time I tried to skip, man.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm glad I got you here to keep me in line, man. But all right, let's get into it. Match number 7 here. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay.
So yeah, it's gonna be fun. It really is inspired by RPGs, but it has a lot of platformers because it's about navigation more so than combat, and it definitely has some survival elements in there. In terms of having to find food and water and stuff like that. Although it's not a base building survival game, it's an exploration survival game. So the whole point is to move and to be able to survive on the move. So it'll be interesting. Yeah, a lot of like style, that kind of survival exploration.
So the character progression in the game, is it going to be like leveling up and skill trees, or is it going to be mainly based on gear or what?
Yeah, the goal is to make it a gear so that your ability to move through a section, similar to Dark Souls, you'll be like, well, I can't go through yet, but it's because you haven't explored that other place over there. Like I can't go through the ice area yet because I don't have the gear to go through the area.
Right.
But with a limited space for your inventory, once you re-outfit yourself to move through the ice area, you might no longer be equipped to move through the desert.
Right.
And that's where co-op comes in, that like one player might bring the ice pick and another player might bring, whatever, something to build fires with or something.
That's always so satisfying in like a Metroidvania style game where, you kind of get, you find like a door you can't open, or maybe in Hike, you like see a cliff or something and you're like, damn, how do I get up there? And then you find a grappling hook and you're just like, oh, now I can make it up there, and run back over there.
But then you might have to sacrifice something in order to bring the grappling hook with you. So because your outfit is always going to be slightly different than it was before. So that's the goal. Of course, there will be some stuff that's just straight better than others that you'll be hesitant to part with.
I'm excited, man. I look forward to that alpha invitation in my email, man.
Yeah, hopefully it won't take too. Once I get started working on, I'm working on it. Like a third of my time is on that prototype, and I've got other things like I was just QAing a Chinese version of Monaco, which we should be releasing next week.
Sweet.
And then Tooth and Tail will be coming out on a Chinese platform. The new Tooth and Tail patch, and once crossplay is done, it'll free me up to do more feature-related stuff as well. So I'm excited about that too.
What about South Korea? Have you guys looked at that yet?
Well, we did. Tooth and Tail is in Korean, but we just didn't have the PR to make a splash there like I'd like.
Right.
So I don't really know if there's a forward path in Korea for us right now. If anyone has any suggestions, I'd be happy to hear them in Discord.
So we got Squirrel Lizard here, but the big story I feel like is that Tosh has got these toads as well, but James Bowring is getting up to that second base and getting out those chameleons. So I don't know, man. We could see this stabilize. I kind of like Tosh's composition at this point, but if Big Pimpin' here, or I'm sorry, I was looking at these players the exact opposite. No, wait, I'm sorry, I was right. So anyways, man, James has got that second base, right? So if Tosh doesn't move out soon, and he invested in that balloon, but Tosh did pick up those 2 campfires, so that's going to help him with his economy for a little while here. So I don't know, and Wolf goes down as well as a fox, so.
I like Tosh maybe picking up this central base and then surrounding it. Of course, heavy tier 1 on the other side is well equipped to take out balloons.
Right.
Oh, sorry, not heavy tier 1. I keep getting around too because it's left and right.
Yeah,
I like Bowring's comp here. I think Tosh's really recourse here is to try and stabilize, get the wolf out, and then do an end run with wolf buff lizards.
Yeah.
That's really all I can see as far as options for him go.
Now, lizards and wolves in general are really good against the fox, but, Tosh is not going to wait for the tier 3 to come out. He's moving in with some aggression here. These could be huge toad hits, and they were very good toad hits there. Where are the chameleons? Did one just kind of get bopped there in the fight?
Yeah, one. I don't know what happened to this. Was there a second one? Because I saw one come in and quickly went down.
Yeah, I don't think he had a second one out quite yet. He actually sold off that Fox, man. Tosh just got so much damage done there. And he even forced the sell on the Fox, which might have been James's saving grace if he could stabilize and get out that big tier 3 unit.
Yeah, I like Tasha's position here. This is where I think fans, exactly, there it goes. He's in a very, very strong position, especially with that high ground expand.
All right, James is going to move in for the counterattack. I do like that Tosh did sell off that balloon, by the way. I kind of like...
Oh, but he lost his commander, and that's going to be big.
That's always huge. It looks like he's only target firing down that Gristmill. I don't feel like James really capitalized on that commander death as much as he could have there.
Yeah, just a little bit of a misfire there, huh?
Yeah, and you know, Squirrel Lizard actually doesn't do too bad against toads, because if you're really on top of your micro, you can target down those toads with the squirrels before they get that engagement. But the wolf buff, man, I think this is just going to be too much from Tosh here.
Yeah, especially with those toads.
Those toads mainly went off on the chameleon, but they do so much high damage or single target DPS now, that's actually not a bad thing. And Tosh is just going to run through there, and James is going to have to tap out.
That's got to be it, huh?
All right, Andy, it's always a pleasure, man. You're welcome on anytime. I really appreciate you taking a little bit of your evening here and casting with me tonight, man.
I love it. I will anytime. You just ask.
Sounds good, man. Well,
all right, everyone. Well, I'm out, and catch me in Discord, and make sure you also follow my Twitch, because I do a lot of development streaming of Hike these days. And look for that patch no later than Wednesday of next week.
I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm going to try to get to as many replays as I can before it comes out. But yeah, man, check out Andy's stream. Always playing some good music there and doing some coding, and pretty candid. You know, ask questions in the chat, and normally he responds to them, things like that. I just linked it there. So if you're not following the Twitch TV Pocketwatch, man, definitely give them a follow. And it's always a pleasure, Andy. And I guess I'll catch you next time, man.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Take care. Man, that was a lot of fun. Casting with Andy, guys. So we'll finish off the night solo bolo here. And let me just go ahead and get out of that. Interesting. Chip sent me some PTR games. Maybe we'll get into that. We've actually been making some really good time tonight. So we might get into some PTR matches. So hopefully the sound levels were good, man. I was trying to keep my eye on the chat a little bit, but I feel like the levels were all right. You guys would have let me know if not, right? Okay. Give me 1 second, guys. Man, that was a lot of fun. I feel like Andy did good casting, man. I give him 5 out of 7. All right, guys. Match number 8. Let's hop into it. Yeah, we're making really good time tonight, so I might showcase some of the PTR matches that Chip sent me. So anyways, guys, in the bottom right, we've got Vincent. And his opponent to the top, the gentleman. Again, the rain map. I love the rain map, dude. Andy, if you're still watching, somehow rig the rinks where the rain tile set comes up more often, man, because I really feel like we don't see it as much as we should. And Vincent, up to no good over here. Gonna go for a mole rush here against the gentleman, and we've got such short rush distances here. I don't imagine this game going super late. Gentleman's got tier 3, but Vincent doesn't. Vincent's actually got 4 tier 1 here, so the map is a little bit advantageous for him, I feel like, right? Because, you know, obviously Vincent's plan is to put on a lot of pressure with squirrel, lizard, mole, pigeon in the early game, and he's got the ferrets in case he runs into a turret wall, and then he's got the snakes to kind of round things off later on and make up for the fact he doesn't have a tier 3. But I really feel like Vincent's plan here is to try to seal the deal on this game as fast as he can. And the gentleman, of course, is no stranger to aggression. I imagine maybe he's running over there to maybe take those campfires, and no, he keeps them, doesn't for now. Yeah, he's going to pick it up soon, I feel like. There he goes. Smole returning back to the base of Vincent. Should be at full HP. He's going to go ahead and get that refund there. And just kind of go into some tier 1 for now. Premium Bow in the chat. Andy is so good at casting. I'm not used to such quality. Yeah. All right. Where are we at in this game? So Gentleman's got the 2 campfires down. It's going to give him a nice economic advantage, but really this map for Vincent's pretty damn good. You know, I mean, he's got 3 easy expansions here for him, and the Gentleman does have a natural base and those couple campfires to kind of help give him some oomph in the early game without really needing an expansion as much. But here we go, man. Vincent is going to come in for a big squirrel mole push, and Gentleman's got a lot of lizards, but I don't feel like he's got enough. Nice gristmill tank and a little bit of, you know, not focus firing at the beginning of the fight for Vincent there, but actually takes that gristmill down. No harm, no foul. And, you know, this squirrel mole push is very tried and true and very effective in situations like this. But it looks like Vincent's thinking about pulling back and not over-engaging, or over-committing, rather. I think he did lose those bulls there, which is a pretty big deal. But overall, I mean, they're kind of in the same position besides Gentleman having that campfire lead. And I'm not so sure if Vincent's aware of that. Okay, yeah, he has scouted that Gentleman has both of those campfires, so he throws down his second base. Try to stay in this game economically. Nice turret placement here from Gentleman, but a nice pickup on the pig there for Vincent. Another one's going to go down as well. That's definitely going to help him stabilize this economy, and the ferrets are on the way. This is going to get very brutal for the Gentleman once those ferrets are out, and Gentleman actually teched over to the squirrels just for that extra defender's advantage here. That the squirrels are, you know, squirrels are better on defense than lizards are, and Vincent's going super hard on these ferrets, man. Gonna get a couple of these out. That's gonna prevent Gentleman from turtling behind these turrets, right? Nice pickup on that campfire. Gentleman's in a pretty rough spot, and the siege is commencing here. As long as Vincent micros well and keeps these ferrets alive, he should be fine. Gentleman trying to get that target fire down on the ferret, and does indeed, but loses most of his squirrels. He just really doesn't have enough, but actually a couple of those squirrels are a little too close to the farms there of the Gentleman, and those pigs with the handguns, man, you cannot underestimate their DPS and really help Gentleman, you know, kind of even out in that engagement. But this shelling going on from Vincent, you know, these Warrens just constantly losing a Warren or two. I mean, it's definitely huge over time. Nice angle here from the Gentleman to try to get in, and, you know, that's actually gonna maybe let him pick up these ferrets. Yeah, the ferrets go down, but still superior tier 1 numbers here for Vincent. So Gentleman's gonna have to back up for now. If Vincent really needs a target fire here, he cannot waste DPS on that gristmill. Every squirrel counts. We're at the 4-minute 40 mark almost here, and this aggression from Vincent just might be too much. I think he maybe needs to sell off that second tier 2 Warren. That might be reaching a little bit. Yeah, he gets rid of that. It throws down a couple firearms. It doesn't go super crazy. And yeah, this looks good for Vincent, man. Gentleman is really gonna have to pull off a miracle like we saw previously tonight, where he got that runaround base trade situation with the lizards, perhaps, but he really just doesn't have enough lizards to do that at the moment. All right, Vincent pushing in. The Gentleman's got nothing left here, but Vincent's being careful, man. Gentleman's definitely one of the top players in Tooth and Tail, so you know, you're up against a guy like that. You want to make sure you're playing safe, you're playing smart, and I think Vincent's just kind of slowly, you know, bleeding out the Gentleman here with some nice ferret shelling, with some good engagements. You know, Gentleman played phenomenally, getting some nice angles of engagement there, but in the end, Vincent takes the match. Great ferret micro there. Dude, I'm drinking girl beer tonight, man. My wife bought Angry Orchard, and it's not that good. I can't lie, man. But it is alcohol, so it's good enough for me. Anyways, guys, match number 9. Let's do it. Okay, spawning in the bottom, we've got Pony Slay Station. And his opponent to the right, Kerpa. Okay, Pony going for that, you know, no tier 3 style, but he's got the balloons. I feel like that might be the right way to do it. You know, maybe snakes as well. But, you know, if you identify your opponent's trying to go for a really quick tier 3, you can try to, you know, initiate some kind of contain with those balloons and try to shut that down. But Kerpa, man, All right, this is the kind of stuff I love to see. Going for the 4-farm double with some lizards here. You don't see it too often anymore, but with this map, this actually might work because it's going to take ponies so long to scout this. And yeah, now he sees what's going on, but it might be too late. And Kerpa's got this nice little attack path. He can run up through here and hit the main base of Pony's Slay Station. Girl beer, I guess you've never had good hard cider. I guess not, man. Hard cider to me is girl beer, but make a recommendation to prove me wrong. We haven't seen this match before, have we? I'm getting some serious deja vu here with the layout of this map. I don't think so. Yeah, Pony just submitted this to me. I don't think we've seen this, but man, this map looks familiar. Like, I remember recently casting a game where we kind of had a situation like this, where there was this little spot over here where the player on the right could kind of run through and do some harassment. Yeah, we saw this game. Yeah, we saw this game, man. Okay. All right. I'm not crazy. You know what? I probably should have kept going anyways. My bad, guys. What happened was Kerpa submitted it a few weeks ago, and Pony just submitted it to me a couple days ago. Okay. I'm not crazy. Okay. Hey, you know what? I noticed it before the chat did, so you gotta give me a little bit of props for that. At least I didn't just kind of, straight up cast the whole thing and not realize it. Bold Rock IPA? That sounds like an IPA, man, not a hard cider. I don't know. I'm drinking Angry Orchard Rose, and it's pink, man. It's pink beer, and it's gluten-free, dude. It's rose, and it's got that little, God, what do you call it? The little swiggly above the E to try to be fancy, and it's naturally gluten-free. Oh man, dude, it's literally pink. I mean, it's not bad, but I'm just not a big fan of flavored alcohol. I like beer that tastes like beer, that kind of thing. But anyways, guys, let's hop into the next match here. Game number 10. It stands for Indian pressed apple. It's bun. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, in the bottom right, we've got Big Pimpatosh. And his opponent to the left, Valeris. All right. What do we got here? Valeris got the fox. Tosh has got the badger. And Tosh is in a better position to rush the badger than Valeris is to rush the fox, I believe. But I don't think it's out of the question for Valeris to throw down a fast tier 3, but it would definitely be difficult because he's got so many avenues of attack here. You still need to taste some good flavor alcohol then. Hey, maybe, man. It's just everything's not for everybody, man. I tried to... when I was younger, I was really, angsty, and I was like, oh, you like this band I don't like, or, you're into sports or something, you're such a loser. I don't think that's the mindset to have anymore. The truth is, man, everything's just not for everybody, man. And if people are into things that you're not into, then great. I mean, if it makes them happy, then who cares, If somebody's favorite rock band is Metallica, I'm not gonna make fun of them, It's like, okay, yeah, Metallica is a great band, but maybe they're just not super into music and haven't delved deep into all the other rock bands that are out there. Stuff like that. But anyways, man, nothing crazy this game. 8 farm opening into a couple of warrens here for both players. Valeris actually might go straight to a tier 2. Yeah, he's gonna go for some ferrets, and he's probably gonna throw down 2, maybe 3 more squirrel warrens, maybe even a pigeon warren to do a push out once those 2 ferrets are done. TnT life advice is massive stealth. Hey, you know what? I gotta sneak it in every now and then, man. I gotta be more subtle about it, though. That's the way to do it, man. But all right, so Tosh is coming out with some snakes here. I feel like Valeris is gonna have the initial advantage in a kind of equal number of squirrel, pigeon, and then ferret versus snake kind of situation. I feel like the ferrets do better there. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, the gentleman or whoever in the chat. But I don't know. I feel like having that range and you land a couple good shots of the squirrels, rinse and repeat. But you can really do the same thing with the snakes, I guess. Like, it just takes one tag on a tier 1 unit from a snake, similar to where it just takes one shot from a ferret to knock it out. But the siege is going to come up since Valeris went for that one tier 1 into tier 2, and Big Pimpintosh here went for that more standard, like 2 tier 1 into the tier 2. But the big fight's coming out, and that snake needs to get target fire down here from Valeris. But that snake actually gets some good poison snacks on the ferrets. Isn't going to be enough to kill them. Both of them go down. Wow, dude, that is absolutely huge. Valeris has the pigeons in his composition here, man, but he just hasn't built them yet. And man, what a great pickup there for Big Pimpintosh, knocking out both those ferrets. I don't think he really even lost a snake of his own. Oh, okay. You know what? Mixed drinks. All right. I will do an asterisk, Kerpa, on my like, I don't like sweet alcohol. You know, a good mixed drink is a different story. Does that make sense? But I don't like I wouldn't want to drink a flavored beer or like a flavored, you know, whiskey or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, I'd rather have a shot of Crown Royal or Jack Daniels or something than Fireball. But if you're gonna be like, hey man, here's this badass margarita I made, you know, I'm down for that. But fruity drinks like margaritas and pina coladas and stuff are really dangerous, because if you make them right, like, you can't even taste the alcohol, dude. Because vodka just mixes so well into things like that. And, you know, I've had a lot of, you know, mixed drinks where it just kind of creeps up on you, and you're like, oh wow, I am way too drunk now. But here we go, another big engagement. So far, I felt like during that little skirmish, Tosh was holding on pretty well, but Valeris hard engaging and actually overextends, loses the falcons rather. But the snakes go down for Tosh. But I feel like the real story here is the badger coming out for Tosh, but he might not even need it. I mean, this counterattack here might be too much for Valeris, but actually it looks like he might be overextending. I figured he kind of slammed through that, but the reinforcements here from Valeris were enough. A mangarita. Yeah, mixed drinks are a totally different thing, man. I'm not gonna bomb on mixed drinks at all, but you know, but I'm not like a Mike's Hard Lemonade guy or anything. But yeah, he sees the badger, he taps out. Very nice play from Tosh. I really feel like that was decided when that snake, man, what a good snake micro there in the early game from Big Pimpintosh, dude. Like, he got the right tags that just like precisely kill those ferrets. Like, yeah, they probably, you know, overkilled him by a few hit points, but I don't think it was enough, man. I was thinking for a second maybe those ferrets live with like low HP. I really think that was the deciding factor in that match there. Badger intimidation. Yeah, basically, man. Okay, we're gonna do, actually, you know what? Let me go ahead and load up these extra games here we got tonight. If I forget to switch to the PTR, man, let me know. Once again, man, thank you everybody for tuning in. As always, man, it's a lot of fun. I just thoroughly enjoy casting this game, hanging out with you guys in the chat a couple times a week. It's always a good time, man. Really cool that Andy Schatz came on. I had a lot of fun with him, man. I think he did great. I'm looking forward to Hike. I'm looking forward to these new balance changes coming up. I really agree with most of them, to be honest. You know, if you haven't seen them, check out the Discord unit discussion. Master Stealth has a pinned message there. Oh, and Premium Bo nagging me about my YouTube channel. So I think actually tomorrow, I got the day off tomorrow. And I don't really have much planned, so I'm gonna figure out the whole, like, integrate your YouTube channel with your Twitch and see if I can do it that way. Because to be honest, once I got a better handle on like highlighting videos, I kind of stopped seeing the point of the YouTube channel, because all my historic videos are just on my Twitch page. But it should be done, I feel like. I think it'd be a little more professional if I did that. It's just hard, man. You know, I'm just one guy. It's just me, man. Just me chilling here. Yeah, the balance changes coming up. Look pretty cool. I like the little adjustments on HP on some of the stronger tier. Actually, you know what? It looks like the majority of tier 2 units there losing a little bit of HP. I think that being able to see what's coming out of the tier 3 Warren, that's gonna be pretty interesting, man. That and the damage reduction thing on the health earn pause 1 second upon damage during construction of any structure. That and the regen in your territory, man, I think are gonna be the big points. A 2v2 not for premium. I know, man. Every now and then other people submit 2v2s. But yeah, tomorrow I will investigate the whole, because I think they actually make it pretty straightforward to just go straight from Twitch to YouTube. So if that's the case, man, I'll get up there at least the most recent stuff, you know, and we'll get that up on that YouTube channel. But all right, guys, we're gonna check out these last couple of matches here, and then we're gonna check out a little bit of PTR games Chip submitted, and that will be it. So let's hop into another 2v2 tonight. Where are the balance notes? So if you go to the unit discussion on the Discord channel, check the pinned messages. There's a pinned message by Massive Stealth outlining all the balance changes. And those balance changes should be live next Wednesday. So in the bottom here, we've got Fedoflex and Dingo Dancing. And their opponents up top, Mr. Minion Man and NG Fam. All right. What do we got going on in this game? Okay, I see a wolf, I see an owl, and that's actually it as far as tier 3 goes, man. So, not gonna see anything super nuts like we saw Premium Bo and James, dude. That was one of the coolest 2v2 matches, because I feel like, you know, the one player running the tier 3 and then 5 defense, and then the other guy kind of going standard can maybe work. But both players running the tier 3 in the defense, man, that was absolutely bonkers, and actually made it work, man. Building turrets underneath balloons to take them out. I don't think I've ever seen that before. So far, nothing super crazy this game. Mr. Mini Man getting that fast campfire, but he delayed his 8th farm to do so, which I believe he will be taking here shortly. No mole aggression or anything like that. Surprisingly greedy 2v2. You know, most of the time you see some 5-6 farm Warrens here. Not the case this time around. All the players kind of opting to macro up here, and tons of gristmills on this map, man. Like, I don't even know who's favored this map. I mean, my gut instinct is telling me red and yellow, because they've got like 2nd and 3rd bases here for both of them, you know, plus the campfire, so that seems pretty good. And in the bottom, it seems like, you know, naturals and a 3rd base should be pretty easy. But yeah, I guess I could give this 3rd base to blue and green as well. So if you kind of split it like that, and then kind of say maybe this gristmill might be too contestable for any player to take, it's actually cut right down the middle on gristmills per team there, with a couple campfires out and about. So nothing crazy, but overall, I still would favor red and yellow's position, because they've got the high ground here, and that can be very, very important. Especially if you set up some defensive structures, which really, there's not a ton here. Like, there's not as much shenanigans as we normally see in a 2v2 match. You know, all the players are kind of doing reasonable things so far. A pretty fast wolf coming out here for NG Fam. And other than that, we're just kind of waiting to see how this game progresses. You know, tier 2 on the way from everybody else. Minion Man's got the owl. Actually, you know what? Green and blue don't have any tier 3 at all on their team. So I feel like they need to get something done. Not let this game go too long, because if it does, man, the value that wolf and the owls can get can maybe be too much. All right. Okay, here we go. Dingo Dancing trying to move in for a big engagement. But being cautious, they don't want to overcommit, overextend. I like this balloon positioning. That's going to be a nice little line to fall back to. I wouldn't even mind like putting another balloon on this like tile on the high ground there. That'd be pretty cool to see. And second base is coming down for blue and green, and you don't see that for red and yellow yet, but red and yellow are both working on their tier 3s. That's going to add a lot of power to their army composition overall. So blue and green, I feel like they're on a clock. Like, maybe I'm wrong. I mean, what are they going to do when the wolf is out and Minion Man's on like 3 or 4 owls, you know? It's going to be super, super brutal. I mean, Fetaflex has Falcons, and so does Dingo Danson. So that is going to be a big deal, because Falcons are kind of this like tier 3 in disguise almost when you get enough of them, you know? Like a big flock of 8, 10, 12 Falcons is a nice late game army composition, right? But the wolf is here. That hasn't triggered like a straight up move out. And NG Fam here getting that second base. Still waiting on Minion Man to expand. Sure enough, he does. And yeah, I mean, so far just both sides kind of chilling, building up their armies, building up their economies. Nothing crazy so far this game. Just a few pokes and prods. Nobody's really committed. But that's a lot of farms going down here for Fetaflex. So a lot of farms for blue and green in general. Like red and yellow are falling behind on economy here if they're not careful. But here we go. Blue and green moving in for a big engagement. They see the wolf though, and the wolf and owl are here for red and yellow. But so many units for blue and green. Green kind of pulled back a bit too far, I feel like. You know, you really can't move out. Look at that concave for red and yellow though. Absolutely huge. Man, they just shreked that army so hard, dude. I'm not even so sure, like, yeah, the wolf played a big part in that engagement. The owl, not so much. The owl actually went down. But I feel like it was that positioning, man. Like, you know, yellow coming in from over here, red coming in from over here. Like, they had, like, a 180-degree arc, man. Like, that is so big. And I feel like green pulled his army back too much as well. You know, I think he kind of freaked out when he saw the tier 3. And maybe pull back. I feel like when you're that far in, you gotta commit, you know. So I think that could have gone better for blue and green if they kind of stood their ground. Like, yeah, they probably still would have lost that fight, but they wouldn't have lost it as hard, you know. Red and yellow, I feel like are in a dominating spot here now, but at least the silver lining here for blue and green is that they have a really healthy second base economy. Like, yeah, they took a lot of losses there, but they're able to reproduce their army very, very quickly. Red coming over here for a bit of aggression, gonna deny that third base. And meanwhile, yellow's wrapped around to the other side, but yellow doesn't have much of an army here. Dingo Danson should be able to clean this up just fine, and that's exactly what blue and green needed to stay in this game. But however, Fetaflex just took some serious blows to NG Fam over here on the left side, so that kind of equalizes out a little bit. If anything, maybe red and yellow went ahead in that engagement, but again, man, this might come down to economy. You know, blue and green have just are powerhousing at the moment on fully saturated second bases, and have been for a little bit of time here. You know, their economy is significantly ahead of red and yellow's income, so keep that in mind, man. Yeah, red and yellow have been getting the better engagements. They've kind of got the better army composition at this point. But sometimes it comes down to numbers, man. Like, it doesn't matter if you've got the right stuff against my stuff if I've just got way too much. You know what I mean? I love this minimal defense, too, from blue and green. Like, just a couple turrets and a balloon have really been doing a lot of work this game. They haven't overcommitted. Needs to be careful. I'm surprised those ferrets actually were not in range of those balloons there. And the owl count is starting to become a problem, though. Minion Man's on 2, man. 2 is pretty brutal, but it's really that 3 to 4 number where it just gets really out of control. So we're almost 8 minutes into this game, and red and yellow are really putting on the pressure here. A couple more turrets coming down here for Fetaflex, and red and yellow are going to push in, try to get something done, but very nice defense so far from blue and green. I think red and yellow actually made a mistake there, and that's exactly what Dingo Danson and Fetaflex needed to stay into this game. And Fetaflex has already got a third base up as well. He hasn't saturated it yet, but the gristmill's done. Always think it's like a slick move, you know, between engagements on that third base. Just run over there, throw down a farm, you know. Nothing crazy. Don't go too hard on it. Just throw down a farm, all right? Another big engagement, you know, run up to the front lines, micro. All right, they back off, okay? Run over to the third, throw down a farm, man. Rinse and repeat. But red and yellow backed off before they suffered heavy losses there. But overall, man, I feel like that was a nice hold from blue and green. And I think red and yellow might have got a little bit of bloodlust there. They might have assumed they could just get through there and finish the game, but some really nice defensive structures. Nice angle there. Plenty of tier 1 units, and makes them back off for now. Dingo Dancing gonna try to move in and get something done with these snakes, but those mice just come in and absolutely wreck on the snakes. Only one of them dies, the other ones get back. Man, that snake had 13 pigeons healing it for 1 second. That was pretty funny. I don't think this front line, well, I was about to say, like, I'm not so sure if this is where red and yellow really want to come in and engage. I mean, maybe sweep around to the side, but if they did that, they'd initiate a base trade. And you don't really want to initiate the base trade when you feel like you've got the superior army composition, right? Man, this is just a bloodbath here. I'm not even so sure of who's taking the upper hand. Red and yellow have a nice concave, but those, man, I mean, look at these rocks, dude. This balloon. Like, how many kills do you think this balloon's got in this game, man? That is a rockstar balloon. This balloon right here, and then this turret right here in the center of the screen. Like, those have been there for like 3 or 4 minutes now. Just racking up so many kills. We're almost 10 minutes in here. Yeah, third base, I love it, man. Out of Fetaflex, just a couple farms, nothing super crazy. Third base also here for Minion Man, and as well as NG Farm. So we're getting into a pretty late game situation where the main base is totally mined out. Players kind of have the army compositions they're looking for here. Dude, if this balloon lives all game, I mean, even if the balloon is killing mice, like, that's still good, you know? That's one less mouse to deal with that could possibly be engaging in you know, trading with squirrels and things of that nature. And these ferrets too, I gotta hand it to NG Farm. These ferrets have been constantly sieging from the high ground, just poking and prodding, knocking out tier 1 all the time. I am not so sure who wins this game. I feel like blue and green are getting a little bit of an edge. Yeah, now they're gonna try to do that wraparound maybe, but no, they're just gonna go ahead and try to take out that third from Dingo here. That's exactly what I was worried about. Like, right when you move out of this front line, you're giving blue and green an opportunity to come in and engage. I don't think they've run, man. Fetaflex, you gotta quit running, man. He's just trying to be cautious, but you know, you really gotta commit in Tooth and Tail. You really can't be indecisive, and it wasn't super penalized there. And yeah, I mean, it was a nice play on paper what NGFam did, you know, but you know, when we've kind of drawn that front battle line, like it's really difficult to get away from it. That's where you see guys like Chip or Gentleman, you know, build 6-9 lizards or a couple of chameleons and just send that over there while keeping the rest of the army in position. You know, this game was pretty even. But just a little bit of a positional mistake here from red and yellow allows blue and green to advance onto the high ground. Now they've got their feet firmly planted. It's difficult for red and yellow to come in here and expand, and now just too much damage has been done, I feel like. And blue and green should take it from here. That was a really cool 2v2, man. That's it. Dingo Dancing and Fetaflex take it, man. I was really worried about them after that big first engagement where Fetaflex kind of was a bit indecisive, and red and yellow both had their big tier 3 units out, and blue and green just kind of got hammered. But nice comeback, man. And I feel like the comeback was really rooted. You can see on the graph here around the 5-minute mark, you know, where green and blue were just really focusing in on their third base, or their second base rather, and got a nice economic lead to kind of make up for that rough engagement they took earlier on. All right, I'm out of girly beer, man. It's Scotch time. Ah, delicious. Okay. Match number 12, guys. Let's hop into it. Okay, spawning in the bottom right, we've got Pony Slay Station. And his opponent up top, Bishi. All right, Mishi rocking the Fox Ferret turret, man. I think that synergizes very well. I actually been laddering with a really similar build as to what Mishi has here. Sometimes I will actually run this with the Falcon. Other times I'll replace the Falcon with a balloon. But overall, I feel like that's some pretty nice synergy here. I feel like the Falcons are there from Mishi to give them that like late game solution, as we were kind of talking about last game. You know, where I mean, Fox really isn't. It's hard to say, to be honest. Like, I don't think it's correct to say Fox isn't a late game unit. Fox isn't a big army unit, because I feel like it's incorrect to say. Well, hang on a second. Pony Slay Station is actually going for a 6-farm double here, and I think it was on the back of scouting relatively quick Warren here from Mishi. And Mishi's just trying to take advantage of this 8-farm opening meta that we're in today. I don't think 2 lizards is enough here, but Mishi would know better than me. And yeah, sure enough, they get taken out, just barely not taking out that pig. I mean, maybe if the pig was a little more exposed, but super clutch hold there from Pony Slay Station. It's going to put him in a nice spot. But yeah, okay, so what I meant earlier was like, man, Pony going for 3 tier 3. Now I'm a little bit worried for Pony because he hasn't taken, okay, there he goes, yeah. You know, a lot of times, even if Pony was out on the field getting things done with superior tier 1, you know, it really can just come down to the fact that Mishi is sitting on 8 farms where Pony isn't. But he corrects that mistake. I like to see that a lot. Okay, but anyways, back to the point I've tried to make like 3 times and I've been cutting myself off. So I do consider the Fox a late game unit, but I don't consider it a big army unit. Because a lot of times in the late game, you know, things get really scrappy. And man, the Fox really, really shines in low unit number situations. But if we get up to like big death ball Cold War scenarios, you know, Fox just fires really slowly. It's not going to make a super big impact. And I feel like that's why Mishi has the Falcons in here. Because Falcons just give him that nice late game round out to his composition. And meanwhile, Pony Slay Station, I think his deck is great. The Falcons and the Chameleons are going to both synergize very well with that Wolf. And I mean, who knows? We might not even see... Okay, this game feels familiar, but maybe I'm crazy. Because I remember a game where there was this campfire in the south, and it went unscouted, like, all game long. Can anyone confirm if we've already seen it? I don't care if we've already seen it. We'll go for it anyways. Yeah, I think Mishi might have submitted this game, and Pony recently submitted it as well, but I feel like I've casted this before, because this right here is just giving me so much deja vu, man. You guys remember that, right? Like, I'm not crazy, am I? I've seen this game on Mishi's streams, this premium bow. Maybe that was it, but I feel like I might have casted this already. But anyways, guys, no big deal. We'll take a look at it again. And Mishi coming out with some ferret harassment, but the Chameleons are a decent answer to this. If you can get on top of them, yeah, he pushes back the ferrets. He actually gets a kill. That is totally huge. Yeah, I feel like I've done this replay before specifically for this campfire. Like, I remember the top player stealing that, and it just went unscouted all game long. Might be possible because Pony sent that repeat against me as well. Yeah, I think Pony just kind of submitted some older I mean, it's hard to tell, man. Like, I can sniff it out. Yeah, we have totally, absolutely, 100% I've casted this game before, but no harm, man. We'll go over it again. But that was actually really good aggression there from Mishi, knocking out those 4 farms, but it leaves him a little bit vulnerable to this counterattack, and I like the turrets that kind of react to that. And the turrets are going to be enough to move Pony Slay Station back. Yeah, I think Pony kind of like combed through his replays and sent in a few recently, and it's just kind of coincidentally, it was a couple matches we've already seen, just because, you know, parallel thinking. But it's no harm, no foul. Normally I can sniff out, like, that actually does happen. Not super often, but often enough. Where, like, maybe Kerpa and Blue Cat play each other, and then they both submit the same game, but that's really easy for me to sniff out when it's on the same show, if that makes sense, right? But if, like, Herpa submits the game, and then like a week or two later, Blue Cat submits it, then it's really difficult for me to figure that out. But it's not a big deal, man. Nice economic lead here for Mishi. Really gonna capitalize on the fact that, okay, now Pony PlayStation sees that campfire, but I don't know if he can really move over there and get out of position like that. Well, nice little pickup by Mishi, a little runaround attack. Yeah, I feel like if Pony went over to take that southern campfire, then Mishi would just pounce on this right side base and knock that out, or at least do some pretty crippling damage to it. But overall, Mishi's in a decent spot. Like, he took some poor engagements earlier on when Pony got those ferrets with his chameleons, but he's kind of made up for it with the economic damage he's done, with the Warren damage that he's done, and this second base that he's got up and running. But Slice Station here also has a second base going, and actually has more farms on it, so income-wise, they should be relatively even. The graph is showing Mishi ahead. Oh, you know why? Because the main base farms that were taken were never rebuilt from Pony, and I feel like that's the right play to make. I mean, some of these, like maybe the southern one I'd rebuild, but if there's only a little bit of wheat left, you generally don't want to rebuild that farm. You're better off just spending that 60 food on an expansion farm. And nice runaround attack again from Mishi, just dealing a ton of damage to that infrastructure there. Gonna back out for now. No harm, no foul. And Pony's starting to get into an aggressive stance. Maybe he's looking for a big counter push here. And I feel like his army's pretty decent against what is here for Mishi. And Mishi's kind of stuck in the side here in this little choke, yeah. And that's totally brutal because, you know, your units have to find their own tile before they'll fire. So when you're all clumped up and you're stuck right there, I mean, concave versus convex is absolutely enormous in Tooth and Tail, and Pony picks up that expansion base from Mishi. Totally crippling blow there. Now Mishi's got nothing left with this southern campfire, which Pony really could pick up on his way back, but maybe it kind of slipped his mind, or he doesn't want to leave himself vulnerable to that lizard aggression. That's a good spot for a 10 range Artie. Oh my god, dude. Dude, the Artie changes. You remember when Artie got moved to tier 2? I want to say it was Pile versus Chip. Does anybody remember that game? Where Pile had Chip contained with like a million Arties and balloons. And Boars at that time still hit air units. So Chip built like 8 or 9 Boars and just kamikazed them all in there and just blew up all the defense. Like, dude, that was absolutely insane, man. That was one of my top replays for sure. Also, that game where we had over 20 Fox deaths, like that was pretty awesome. So speaking of Foxes, the Fox is here for Mishi. This is exactly what he needs to try to get back into this game. You know, Pony's in a dominating position. Now, Pony's got the chameleons, which are great against Foxes. He's also got turrets and the wolf. All three are good answers to that Fox, but squirrels and falcons and pigeons absolutely get hammered by the Fox. So it's kind of neat. Like Slay Station's deck, it's like half is terrible against the Fox and half is fantastic against the Fox, right? Fox moving in to try to get some stuff done. He's going to pick up a couple tier 1 kills, but I feel like the turrets might push him back. Yeah, that's another thing too. I don't feel like we see often enough. Like, one turret is not super scary to a Fox if it's undefended. I do that a lot in my games as well, where if you only have one turret there, I can run my Fox in and take a shot or two off, you know, kill a pig before I really need to get it out of there, before that turret does too much damage. So we're at the 9-minute, 30-second mark here. Slay State, you got to hand it to Mishi, man. Very well. He did very well stabilizing in this position. The Chameleon Trap gets set up here from Pony Slay Station, but not in the right spot as Mishi is kind of poking and prodding around for damage elsewhere. But you know what? You know, Mishi's Fox actually might swing back around this way to try to get in here again and do what he did earlier, you know, kind of take a shot or two from that turret, but ultimately get those pigs. So we're now at 10 minutes in. And I feel like Slay Station here has really just got to wait on that whoop. And once he's got the wolf, you know, the increased speed and attack speed of his units will make him contest the fox and keep that fox back, or maybe even get the kill on the fox. And really, the fox is basically all Mishi's got here besides a handful of squirrels. So that's the backbone of his army, man. If he loses that fox, he might just tap out. And you know, buffed up falcons, buffed up squirrels will just get up on that fox so quickly. So what is the change being made to Snake's next patch? Asks Dingo Dancer. There's actually a lot of changes happening in the next patch, man. I highly recommend you guys check out that unit discussion Discord section. Check out that pinned message button, and there's a list. I mean, a lot of units are getting some little tweaks. I feel like the big changes are the regen for reptilian units in their territory, the change on damage done to building structures, and being able to actually see what tier 3 your opponent's building. And I feel like all Pony's got to do is target fire down this fox from here. He takes out the turrets there for Mishi, but his units are just so fast now. That fox's swift ability is basically null and void at this point. Ooh, needs to be careful of that commander, though. If that commander dies for Pony's Slay Station... Oh! Mishi with the epic fox plays actually gets the wolf. The commander goes down as well. This fox actually might be enough here for Mishi to stay in this match. Man, that commander going down for Pony is totally huge. Now, he does get that base for Mishi there, but Mishi's got this left position as well. As long as this fox stays alive, that fox just got so much damage done, man. I feel like Pony really had a window where he could have target fired down that fox with his buffed up units. Oh, but a little bit of miss micro there from Mishi. Mishi wasn't expecting that chameleon to come out of the shadows. Knocks out that fox. And I think that's probably it for Mishi, man. He's going to sell off a bunch of his stuff and try to set up shop over here to the left. So he's not out of the game yet, but he's really got nothing left here. All Slay Station's got to do is maybe sell off a couple of these turrets, move across the map, and deliver that knockout punch to Mishi here. Super cool match. Okay, give me 1 second, guys. I'm going to use the restroom, grab a drink, hop over to the PTR, and we're going to check out a couple of Chip from Space matches on the PTR with the upcoming balance changes. So maybe 1 or 2 minutes, guys, if that, and we'll be back. We got 2 more replays for tonight, so don't go anywhere, and I will see you guys soon. Okay, what's up, guys? I am back. I'm gonna keep this break screen up for just a second as I switch over to the PTR. Doof. see. Betas. Let's try that again. Oh, I think the game was still like shutting down. There we go. Public test. Let's do that. Okay, downloading. Downloading. All right, we got the public test situated. We're coming back in, everybody. When is the patch coming? It should be out next Wednesday. Andy delayed it ever so slightly to make sure the PS4 crossplay gets correctly implemented, or not crossplay, but PS4 gets patched at the same time. If you guys are joining the show later, I do recommend checking it out from the beginning, man. I had Andy Schatz on earlier. It was a lot of fun. I think he did great casting. It was cool learning about his new game, Hike. That seems really cool, man. I'm hyped for that. I'm hyped for Hike. That's hard to say. Hyped for Hike. That's a good one, man. I'm crossing my fingers, hoping. Dude, I've got 372 hours in Tooth and Tail. Woo! That is a lot. Ooh, that music is loud. Let's turn that down a bit. On. Was that how it was? Maybe I'm just crazy. I think that's how it was. Yeah, I'm probably crazy. I cut my hair recently. So, like, I used to have longer hair. And then that would kind of, like, cover up my ears a little bit, you know? So, it's weird having these headphones on now with short hair. Really hear everything more clearly. Alright, guys, we're on the PTR. We got a couple more matches for you guys tonight. So balance changes only, but no crossplay. I'm not sure what that means. PS4 crossplay is live. It's been live for a while now. I see Mass Stealth in the chat. Correct me if I'm wrong, but pretty sure that's right. Yeah, because Andy was saying earlier he wanted to wait and make sure the patch worked at both times so he wouldn't split the player base. You know, because most people play on the PC. Master Stealth says I'm wrong. Am I? Oh, really? Oh, my bad. I am wrong. The patch next week has the PS4 crossplay in it. Really? I thought that was implemented a while ago. Huh. What was the delay? Like I thought that happened already. I don't know. Maybe I'm just wrong. That happens. That happens from time to time. I don't know everything, guys. I apologize. GOG crossplay was implemented. Oh, okay. I gotcha. Anyways, without any further ado, man, we have some PTR games, a Trip from Space, I think Pillow 8 as well. I'm not 100% though. I guess we're about to find out with the latest balance changes. So let us take a look at those. Okay, spawning in the bottom, we've got Ship from Space. And his opponent to the top right, Pillow 8. Alright, now Arctic Cannons are 10 range now, right? Okay, so Lizard HP went from 8 to 7. Mole HP went from 22 to 20. They have a 2.5 times crit. Skunk HP went down to 29. Yeah, so like Snake HP actually went up. And Chameleon HP went down a couple points. But I feel like the biggest change, at least in these decks, is the artillery commanders. Artillery cannon, rather. Sorry, I was reading the note about the commander's burrow time being 2 seconds rather than 2.5. But yeah, the artillery cannon takes longer to build now. 50 seconds versus 30 seconds, but 10 range versus 8. Like, that's a pretty big change here. And no owls here from Pillow 8. What he's most known for. And barbed wire gets a little bit of love. Tier 3, you figure out, you can see what it is while it's being built. So lots of little things here. for sure. Falcons and chameleons in this game will be a little weaker than you might be used to. Ferrets and squirrels, fox is unchanged. Boar actually lost, 20 HP, so now it's only got 100 HP. And turret DPS is down as well. So actually, a lot of these units have some pretty significant changes, which makes sense. I mean, why would you, you know, if you're on the PTR, right, like trying to test things, why wouldn't you run some of the units that have the most significant changes there? Pillar representing you and me, Delth, running the fox. Yeah, man. And a fast fox here as well, so Chip needs to get this scout off, which I'm sure he will. Ooh, that turret, that's a fantastic positioning there from Pillow. Keeping Chip from getting that scout off is totally critical. But you might expect this as Chip in this position. I mean, Pillow's got this nice corner position that's easy, or high ground, I guess, one entrance, you know. It's easy to kind of hide a tier 3 here. And also this turret and the positioning of the squirrels, really trying to keep information away from Chip should be a pretty big giveaway that Pillow's up to no good. But the Falcons coming out for Chip makes me kind of think otherwise. Like, Falcons are very bad against the fox. He's got chameleons, so if he assumed it was a tier 3, oh, you know what? I mean, it is Pillow 8, so maybe he assumes it's an owl coming his way. In that case, Falcons are pretty good. I just wonder if the arty cannon, like, man, if you guys are around and you want to comment about that, like, week or two where we had that 120 food arty cannon. But North America actually lost the big North America versus EU championship off the back of that, right? I forget who it was from EU, but they really abused the arty cannons in that tournament, man. Unless I'm thinking of something else, but I think it was the arty cannon. Yeah, no, it was right when the patch launched too. Like, the patch came out like the day before the tournament, and people didn't really know how to deal with it. I'm not being salty. Europe played really well, but Europe definitely won off the arty cannon in the end. And here we go. We're gonna see this 10 range arty cannon in action. But Chip's got a good position here. You know, these turrets are gonna zone back the Kasha. And Chip's working on his board. Yeah, he sold off the Falcons. I love that, man. Very good awareness there. Falcons are just, you know, it's like shooting fish in a barrel for Kasha and, against Falcons. So all right. Is it gonna be able to fire on that turret? Damn it, Chip. I wanted to perform a science experiment there. I guess Chip feels like that is gonna be in range of the arty cannon because he sells everything and pushes them back. 10 range. How much range does a ferret have? Does anybody know off the top of their head? Now you gotta keep in mind too, things like ferrets and arty cannons have more range than they have vision. So you kind of need a scout. Look at that range, man. Woo! I mean, it makes sense if it's artillery. Dude, it is hit. Are you serious? It was hitting that turret all the way back there. Oh my god. That might be a little too much. The board's out for Chip, but I feel like Pillow might have Chip in checkmate here. You know, Kasha is pretty good against the board, I feel like. As long as you maintain a little bit of distance and just keep taking some shots on it, you will kill it over time. Ooh, but the Kasha gets low at 2 HP. Some great micro from Pillow. He loses the ferrets there, but he was more concerned with keeping the fox alive. I can't believe that arty cannon was hitting the turret, like, over here. That was insane. EU won. EU is better. Get over it, you biased caster, says Gilman. Hey, man, watch the last couple games of that tournament and tell me EU did not abuse those arty cannons. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. We might need another NA versus EU tournament, is what I'm thinking, to really settle things. No, EU, I'm obviously just being facetious, guys. EU played very well and deserved the win. But from here, Chip, I think, is kind of tapped out. Some fantastic Fox Micro here from Pillow. Gets that boar eventually. Chip does sell off that Warren, which is definitely the right thing to do in this kind of scrappy situation. Pretty low economies from everyone here. You know, Pillow's really only on this campfire at this moment. And Chip is, where is Chip mining? Oh, he's got one farm. It's kind of hard to see it behind those trees. But damn, dude, that arty cannon range is so huge. Look at that. That's gotta be too much, right? Am I wrong? Am I wrong, bros? I don't know. I feel like that's too much. Yeah, this is an orbital strike cannon. Dude, that's like, what am I thinking of? Like, multi-continental ballistics there, man. Really good play, though. You got to hand it to Pillow there, man. Some great micro of that Fox, especially in the water. And also, too, I mean, it takes a long time to build those arty cannons. and Pillow did a very good job there, muscling out on the map and protecting that drum fire, you know, with a couple turrets, with some good unit positioning, with kind of keeping Chip back and a little scared to directly engage into that. And, you know, in the end, he was rewarded for it. So great game there. Interplanetary shell dispenser. Dude, I can't believe... You know what? This is a bit unorthodox, but I don't care. I don't care, guys. I gotta see this again. Like, we're just gonna ×5 till we get to the spot where I like. I wish I could rewind and replays, but can't get everything I want. Like, I gotta see that again, man. I gotta see when the drum fire was firing on the turret. That was like right here. Like, that was insane. I feel like this was really good by Pillow as well. And that was a very nice denial from Chip. Or to Chip, I guess. But yeah, you see how, like, this wasn't a free win for Pillow because he had the drum fire or anything. Like, he had to muscle out here. And this map, like, he barely had the right tiles to get down this defense. And you see how he kind of guarded this position here with his units, with these turrets, before placing down this arty. Like, the arty took a long time to build. But, dude, the arty fires on this turret, man. Like, what's against the range? Like, that is nuts. You need vision for it, right? It's not like... But imagine with a balloon. I mean, we might see, like, some kind of arty balloon style things going on. Like, I want to wait. Like, watch when Pillow... So it doesn't have vision right now, but watch. Watch when Pillow moves over there. It's going to hit that freaking turret all the way over there. Look at that, man. That is insane. That is so crazy. All right, that's all I wanted to see. I got a follow from somebody, but I didn't see the, Too quiet to die. Just followed, man. I appreciate it. One second, guys. Okay. So, where am I looking? Gameplay help. Okay, so the 10 range, but only 4 vision. So you pair that with a balloon, which got vision of 12, right? Like, that's really hard to fit into your deck. But balloon arty? That would be so sick. Yeah, Ferret's got a range of 8. But I've always thought that was a really cool design aspect, right? Where you kind of you need a scouter, man. You need somebody to be up front, and you can do that with your commander, obviously. But yeah, dude, look, balloon arty. You know what I'm saying? 12 vision, 10 range. Anyways, we got one more replay for you guys tonight. Big shout out to Andy Schatz, lead developer, owner of Pocketwatch Games, for coming on tonight, casting with me, man. It was a ton of fun. I'll try to get him back as the schedule permits. I had a blast casting with him, man. I thought we had a cool thing going there. So, anyways, last match of the night. You can use Commander for vision, don't even need balloons. Yeah, I know. Listen, Pillow. All right. Okay. Last match of the night, guys. Do not shout out Andy before he casts it, says Pillow. Pillow and Chip, are you guys on that like little balance committee, man? I don't know. I don't know who's part of it. I'd assume Jet Erickson because he was a pretty big influence on the Swift nerf. Feels bad, man. Rip. I know you watch these VODs, Jet, and I am gonna call you out for hurting my little fox butt. Della was a ferret that shot the MG. No, it wasn't. It was not, was it? You just want me to load that replay up again. Let's go into this replay, guys. Dude, it was totally the arty cannon, wasn't it? I don't know. The bullets are the same, so maybe I mixed it up. Anyways, guys, in the bottom, we've got Chip from space. And his opponent at the top left, Pillow 8. Both players with the artillery cannon this time around. It was a ferret, says everybody in the chat. What? A ferret did shoot the MG, but jump fire range is still silly. Oh, wow. Okay, okay. My bad. I guess I'll believe like 7 of you. So nothing crazy yet, but we have artillery cannons this game, man. 10 range. Overall, pretty similar composition to last time, at least in the tier 3 slot. We're gonna have Fox for Spore here. Fox remains unchanged in this patch, besides the fact that you can see that it is indeed a Fox that is being built, which is really important. I feel like you kind of need to respond to the Fox a little bit differently than other tier 3 units, you know, so having that information that it is confirmed gonna be a Fox that comes out is pretty important. He needs a co-caster with half a brain. I know, man. I know, I'm totally the worst. Yeah, you know, I definitely believe you guys that it was a ferret bullet. I just got hyped because it seemed like it was an arty cannon because they have the same bullet sprite. So it's kind of hard to tell. But speaking of ferrets, man, Pillow is going for a pretty quick ferret this game. Now, did Chip actually scout that is the question. Yes, he did. So he's going to respond with a relatively quick tier 2 of his own. But Chip's tier 2 is kind of like that standard fast tier 2 opening, you know, 2 tier 1 into a tier 2, while Pillow 8's being a little bit greedy with his tier 2, which is totally fine. I feel like if you're going to go 8 farm, tier 1, tier 2, tier 1, you leave yourself a little bit open against like a really all-in squirrel mole push, but we're not seeing anything like that here this game, and Pillow 8's already setting up a nice forward position here, but good call from Chip moving out right here, right now, knocking out that turret, but a little bit of missed micro there from Chip at the end of that engagement allows Pillow to clean that up with a couple squirrels left over, and still a turret remains, and now Pillow's got a nice, you know, point where he can kind of run back to keep this ferret alive if things are a little too dicey, which they very well might, as a chameleon is here for Chip, and gonna start beating down on this ferret. Gets it back in time though, and it's gonna be able to regen. Yeah, you guys just gotta petition Andy, man. Just be like, dude, Delthius is incompetent, dude. He needs you. I'm down for more. I'm down for more Andy casting nights. I'm sure you guys are as well. But I feel like this is pretty good here for Pillow, and this is kind of similar as what we saw last game, where he kind of set up this forward position with a bunch of turrets, and now he's kind of created this pocket where he can throw down an arty cannon as he sees fit, and he's saving up a little bit of money. No, okay, so for now he's just going to throw down a few more turrets, while those ferrets actually getting the shot off on those stealth chameleons because they're trying to fire on the commander there, and Gristmill's here for both players. Pillow trying to sneak that one farm out. This is rough for Chip, man. He's getting sieged upon pretty hard. And look at all these turrets. Where's the arty? Where's the arty? Oh, he's teasing. There he goes. All right. Artillery cannon on the way here. And Chip doesn't have ferrets, man. I mean, that's pretty big. Like, in this kind of defensive meta, perhaps? Like, the turrets did just get a nerf, but, you know, ferrets could really help prevent this arty cannon from going up. As a new player, I struggle the most against towers and such, basically watching my own personal TnT hell. Yeah, man, this is the upcoming balance changes. Too quiet or die, just to be clear. So this isn't in the live, but yeah, if you are struggling against defensive structures, man, I highly recommend running those ferrets, kind of learning how to micro those. They definitely help out a lot. I actually almost always have ferrets in my deck. I don't always build them, or like I don't necessarily have them in like my build order, but they're a nice like utility pick to your deck, you know? It's kind of one of those units where it's like, I'd rather have them and not need them than need them and not have them, you know what I mean? But that's my own opinion. I mean, there's a ton of successful decks out there that don't run ferrets. And Falcons are actually nice counter to ferrets, as you can see here. Like, the Falcons can't quite chase the ferrets all the way back, but, you know, they can kind of prevent the harassment of the ferrets from going down. Okay. I wish there was a unit. I wish there was a unit that he could fire on with these arty cannons. Look at that range, man. Like that okay, that was not a ferret shot. I saw an arty cannon shot that landed on the edge of Pillow 8's territory. Yeah. Yep. Oh wow, did one actually go all the way back there? You see where that dirt spot is, right underneath that hill? I think that was an arty cannon shot as well. I wonder why Chip didn't like just run around that position. I guess if he did that, then he would have left himself open to a big counterattack from Pillow 8. That's it for tonight, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. I appreciate it as always. Make sure to hit up my inbox for Tuesday night's show. The balance patch is going to come out on Wednesday, however. So I'll try to get to as many replays as I can, but there might be a couple that have to get thrown in that recycle bin because the new patch coming out. But I'm really going to need your guys' help for next Thursday's show because the balance patch is going to hit on Wednesday, right? So make sure you guys hit the ladder hard and heavy, man, as the balance patch happens on Wednesday. And give me plenty of ammo for Thursday night's show. Again, keep in mind Tooth and Tail League Season 2 is going to be underway shortly. I think there's a couple dropouts, couple adjustments Sakuya had to make, but hey, it works in my favor because I'm in Class S now. I was rank 1 in Class A, but I got boosted up to Class S, so I'm hyped about that. And then the Tooth and Tail PvP campaign, man, I do want to plug that again extra hard. May 26th, May 27th, Jet Erickson, Master Wario, Illuminatus, Gabe and E have all been putting a lot of effort into this project. Jet Erickson's been doing like project management. Master Wario has been designing the maps. Illuminatus has been dealing with coding and scripting and that sort of thing. And Gabe and E's been writing the story. Glorious AFB has been doing a ton of artwork. It's gonna be really cool format, man. It's gonna be like Saturday. I think it's a Saturday. I don't want to say it's Saturday and it isn't. Yeah, so the first day is going to be May 26th on a Saturday. I mean, sign up for that, guys. If you're not sure how to sign up, and don't be shy, man. Even if you are a new player, dude, it's just always so much fun to participate in a tournament. So yeah, if you check out the Tooth and Tail events section, underneath the stream you're watching right now, man, you can find a Google Doc and Discord for both Tooth and Tail League Season 2 by Best Sakuya NA and Jet Erickson's Tooth and Tail PvP campaign. And yeah, it's going to be sweet, man. On Saturday, it's going to be a regular, standard, best-of-3 tournament. It's going to be casted by me and Jet Erickson here on ToothAndTailTV. And then Sunday, the top 4 players from the regular standard tournament are all going to pick a faction to represent. We're going to go into some, like, campaign, story, competitive, custom map kind of stuff. And I'm going to have Gabe and E casted with me. You guys can check him out. I had him on not too long ago. I think last Tuesday, if I'm correct, I had Gabe and E on. So a few shows back. He's the main story writer, so he's gonna help out. I'm gonna kind of be the analyst, talking about the strategy and stuff going on, and he's gonna be, you know, more focused on the lore and the storyline of the event. So it's gonna be a lot of fun, man. I'm super excited. And that's it, you guys. So yeah, I will try to update the YouTube, man. I got tomorrow off, like I said. I'm gonna figure out how to link my Twitch page to my YouTube page. I think that's gonna make it a lot easier than trying to fumble through all these old videos and try to, because I just recently started saying the show number at the beginning. Like, I don't know why I didn't think of that day one, but like that makes it so much easier to organize the VODs. But all right, guys. That's it, man. I'm out of here. Let's see who's streaming. Let's see what we got. Let's go say hi to my wife, guys. She's playing some Xenogears, old school PlayStation JRPG. So, man, you guys are rock solid. I really do appreciate it. 53rd show, and I still get good viewership. So thank you so much, everybody, for hanging out with me. I really do enjoy seeing everybody in the chat. And that's it, man. Take care, guys. I will see y'all next Tuesday.